Welcome to the 30th day of National Life Coaching Month. This is Casey Miller coming to you from Southwest Institute of Healing Arts. And today we have our master coaches with us. Not that it's the last day, there will be one more day tomorrow with Linda Bennett, and she will be featuring hypnotherapy. However, today we had the opportunity to come together as a master life coaching team, and we want to talk to you as coaches. All of you that are out there, if you are a coach, we are specifically talking to you. If you are entertaining the idea of becoming a coach, then obviously this message is for you. So we've been coaching for 30 days, and as coaches, we're excited. Our heart is filled, and we just want to share with you some of our ahas as a coach to coaches. So Linda Bennett, let's start with you. As a coach, what have you experienced this month of National Life Coaching Month?
Probably the most outstanding thing for me is to get emails from our past graduates that are coaches saying that they got so much confidence by watching our sessions, and it helped them develop some more questioning that they could do, and so they felt more inspired.
More inspired.
Yeah.
So if you're watching right now, would you let us know if you currently are a coach or if you are being called in some way to serve as a coach? So say I am a coach, or I might be a coach in the future. So thank you for that. Cheryl, what's your biggest aha for this month?
Well, what I absolutely loved was that every single coaching session was different, and it was based on the coach themselves.
Ooh, talk to us about that.
So if you stop and think about it, everybody follows a paradigm of the coaching practice, but everybody else brings their own little uniqueness to it. So if you're out there doing coaching, don't feel like you have to do it just like Sharon, or just like Casey, or just like Linda. You can literally create your own passion around this whole big piece of coaching, and if you bring that to the table, you're going to be successful. Don't think you have to do it like everybody else. What you bring will actually make you shine, and you will draw the people to you who need to come to you with that gift that you have.
Beautiful. Sharon, what's your aha?
So my aha is really that regardless of where you're at in your stage of life on your path, that underlying all of that is your personal beliefs about where you are and how you're showing up and your expectations of yourself. So in all of the clients I worked with, they are all practitioners in the spiritual realm who are looking to start their spiritual entrepreneurship journey. And I had one who was just beginning, actually still a student, all the way up to a soon-to-be graduate who's already putting herself out there, and in between those stages as well. And no matter who I was coaching and what we were doing, they all had something to work through. So there's never a point where you get where it's like, oh, I'm done, I no longer need a coach.
Yeah.
It's no matter what stage, there's always something underlying that can be worked on that's going to help propel you more into the future. So really that beautiful process that I saw emerge as the weeks went on was a big aha for me.
Big aha. Okay, great. So, Will, you've been coaching for a long time.
Yeah.
And your coaching a lot of times is business coaching.
Yeah, most of the work that I do here on the school and online is business coaching or entrepreneurship mentoring, as I like to call it. And it's been really eye-opening for me for this round here, because I had an opportunity to work with a coach that I worked with last year who came in and said that she had this whole plan of what she was going to do, and she was going to release her old job, and she did it.
She did it.
And she moved forward, and she's now stepping into her business. So that was really powerful for me to see that transition from somebody that last year didn't have a clue and was so fear-based. The other thing that I've noticed in the coaching, and I had two together, one that was just starting and one that had been in business for a while, and they both had the same challenge, and it was all wrapped around fear.
Oh.
They were all wrapped around fear. And the fears were, for the person who was in the existing business and the person who was just starting, the fears were exactly the same.
Wow.
So we coached around that, and it was beautiful to see the two girls interact with one another, because the girl who was in business for a little while was kind of coached the person who was not in business. So that was a real aha moment. But the other thing that I have also realized is that so much of what an entrepreneur's challenge is not so much about their business, but it's about their personal issues.
Ooh, you say that again. And it's like those of you that are watching, see if this is true for you.
So the awareness is that people that are stepping into entrepreneurship, that a lot of their challenges and issues are not around their business, it's around their own personal
Wow.
issues that they need to be coached around. So many times my sessions start out as a business coach, and then I turn into a life coach and help them move beyond that.
So that's a very real thing, thinking that you as a coach, is it that you're wondering about how do I build my business, how do I grow my business, or is it really something more personal that you are wanting to coach around? Wow, that's an aha.
That was an aha.
That was an aha. James, what was your awareness?
Honestly, for me, it was how much I resonate with the fire that people have inside them.
Ooh.
It is, as a practitioner, I know that I'm not willing to invest my time in somebody that's not willing to invest in themselves first.
Wow.
So it is a part of my practice to kind of pull, sometimes push it out of them. And I love seeing that attachment because we all have goals, we all have a passion, we all have dreams. And the word I hear thrown around a lot is I'm committed.
Mm-hmm.
For me, commitment is not enough. We hear in a lot of our classes, you need to be compelled. Commitment says I'm willing to do what is necessary. Compelled says I actually did something about it.
Wow.
So when I tap into that fire that's within somebody, it's I want to know where's that switch. So we can figure out what that's attached to so that you're compelled to actually do something about it for yourself so that we can kind of maintain that momentum together. But yeah.
So if you were going to ask a question of those watching today, what would your question be to those that might be watching right now live or those that will watch the rerun?
The one that stands out for me the most in a lot of the coaching classes I've been in and what I've used a lot and what I've heard from Will actually quite a bit is what is the cost? What is the cost for you to remain exactly where you are right now? And in one of my favorite quotes, the piece of the quote basically says that you are giving a day of your life for today. So the cost is a day of your life. What's it worth?
Mm-hmm. Wow. All right, tapping into that fire.
I feel that fire.
Yeah.
Woo.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah. So Becca, what's your aha from this month of coaching?
So I tried to change it up. I like a good challenge.
Mhm.
I think you know that about me. My toes say a lot.
Yes.
But I wanted to explore, and I stay open as a coach. That's the number one piece I have is to stay open. Yes, we market all day, we plan all day, we say, hey, I have this session available. Seeing who shows up, what they want to coach around, but then staying open to what it really is that we're gonna be coaching to. So my first session, I actually she interviewed me as a coach. We were seeing if we were a good fit, a 16-year-old and her mother and father. She has been working on stepping into her power, being bold, getting out of her comfort zone is what she's working on all month. So she hired me. That was fun for everyone to see a real interview. I'd never met her. And she actually just auditioned for the talent show. She sang in front of hundreds of people.
Wow.
And just wow. I bought her a piece of art with heart today, just as a gift. The other takeaway I would say is just really asking those deep questions, showing up authentically, mirroring your client, and really we use the life coaching tools so that our clients can speak up and speak out more of their truths. From what they say, they give us more tools that we can use to go even deeper in the session. So my last session went the way I really wanted it to on camera, and she didn't know exactly what it was that we were coaching around, but finally we got to those images, right? The images. We asked, what does that look like? What does that feel like? Okay, can you describe that to me? And then I actually let her guide me there, Linda. I thought you would be proud of me on this one. So she guided me into this imagery, and we explored these high dives in this pool, but what are those really? What are these high dives? What is the water made of?
come to find out, it's just the unknown. What does the unknown do for most of us,
Yeah.
for our students, for our graduates? What are we all overcoming? The fear of the unknown, having faith, and then putting all the love of self, all of our knowing, all of the work we've done here into what we're stepping into and making it what we want it to become. Making it what it is, and then using the action words. I am, I'm not going to, I'm not maybe, I am, this is. Creating in that moment, shifting the energy of what was, and then being, and moving forward. So,
Beautiful.
yeah.
Well, I went away with 3 very, very specific things. My number one takeaway is the faith in models. I love that once you use a model, and a model means that it might be an acronym, it might be one of the more or less tools, it might be the balance of now versus the balance of balance. That the models are so beautiful, and that if as a new life coach, you are concerned about what do I do, how am I gonna do this, have faith in the models. That is something that I will, like, it's in my bones now, because every time I use a model, we go forward because we're using a proven model. And in some ways, a model of toe reading, it's a model.
That's my next thing, is talking literally everything, single thing that everybody commented on had to do with, if you use another tool, not another tool, we've got great life coaching tools, but you add another piece of toe reading to it. Literally, you have somebody who comes in and says, I wanna help propel my business a little bit forward. And it's like, okay, so we use all these tools, but if you literally go to the toes, you look up that baby toe and you go, okay, are you not moving forward because you don't feel like you're deserving or worthy of moving forward? Or is it somebody that you're working with in a relationship that you're just not meshing with? Or is your passion kind of gone out and you're not working with it in that way? Or are you communicating to the wrong people? Or has your destiny really saying, okay, that's not even the path I want to go down? And now you just literally hone in, like right now, on the piece that isn't working for them, and you can now move forward.
And that's the beauty of it, Cheryl. I saw you just sitting so deep with Chassie and holding that space, and just having taken the toe reading program, you as my teacher, knowing that everything is something, and letting the client define what that is.
Yes.
Is the key, and that's what we do in all the energy work, in all of the sacred work that we do as coaches. No matter what tools we're using, whether we're using ears, whether we're using toes.
Right.
Just
Find
standing
another tool.
there, you're letting them define it, and they can heal themselves.
Exactly. And so it's the tool, and the second awareness was, we say this, the client has the answers within. And my noticing is, if we as coaches think we know, we're in our ego. And if we could go back, and how much is the client talking and how much are we talking? If we're talking more than the client, we need our lip clip, because we've got to let the clients talk. We've got to let the clients talk. If you're a coach right now, are you relating to that? It's like the more the client is able to talk and we're able to, as we say, hold space, that space is where they really transition. So for me, my big awareness is, just because you have a model, just because you think you know where you're going, everything is something, and if they say something, we have to turn on a dime and go with that metaphor.
Right.
Absolutely.
It's about staying in curiosity.
Yes.
It's like being so curious to not know where you're headed.
Yes.
And so we're kind of, jumping off the diving board with the client, because we don't know where we're headed.
Right.
And that is actually the fun of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Will, you talked about how you're seeing even the business students, or their fears show up. And it's the same thing in all of our coaching sessions. Once we got down to it, there was an underlying fear.
Absolutely.
And usually, my experience is, there's that not good enough stuff that just raises its head.
I'm glad you brought that up, because one of the biggest challenges when business people or entrepreneurs come in and they start talking about this, their fear, or one of their fears, is that they don't know what's going to happen next, and they think they have to wait until they have all the answers before they launch.
Yeah, let me take
And
another
it's
class.
like, no,
yeah.
we launch now and it becomes an organic living thing, and we build and we grow with our business, and we just know that it is going to unfold as long as we let it. But if we put up that wall and say, I'm gonna wait, or I'm gonna stop, or let that fear stop us, then we never launch, we
Yeah,
never
right,
take off.
Right,
Absolutely.
right.
So let's just breathe into that. We know that the biggest thing that we're here to do is help our coaches. And that's why today we want to say we're coaches, and we're specifically wanting to target those of you that are coaches. So right now, as a coach, think about the one thing that you want to go on record as offering up to another coach. So Linda, if you had to, with all of our hundreds, we've been teaching life coaching now for, I believe it's 17 years.
Mhm.
We've coached and taught a lot of people.
Yes, we have.
So if you were to think about like, coaches, this is the one thing I want you to know from me, what would it be?
I would say stay in the curiosity and the wonder of it all, because it's a fabulous arena to not only be of assistance to another person, but to even know ourselves better.
Yes?
And to really stay in that place of curiosity. And it's gonna be a ride. It's gonna be a fun ride too.
So the question to you, if you're watching, is do you stay in the curiosity? Is that a part of, oh, I've got to remind myself, stay in the curiosity? That would be one invitation. Cheryl, what's a piece that you would offer to a coach or ask of a coach?
Use your uniqueness. Don't question yourself. Don't question the model that you've created or the tools that you use. Go forward. Just because somebody else doesn't use it doesn't mean it's not going to be effective.
Okay. Stay in your uniqueness. Okay. All right.
I would say that as a coach, one of my standards that I have for myself is that I know all of my clients are capable of creating change and taking action in their life. And I apply that to myself too. I know that anything I set off to do, like, I'm capable of achieving it. And so whatever I expect of my clients, whatever I see in my clients, I remember that that is a mirror for myself, and I see myself in those same ways. So recognize that the space you hold for your client, for them to do their growth and their expansion work, you also are capable of doing that. So hold yourself to that same standard.
Beautiful. Beautiful. So well, if you were to say, I can only say one thing to.
As soon as you said that question, it came right to my head, and this is the question. As an entrepreneur, what are you willing to do, be, or give up to be successful? Are you willing to step into the power of what you have deep within inside you? So it is.
Yeah. So ask that again and ask them to respond to that.
All right, so
We all
out there in
stop.
Facebook land, everybody
Yeah.
stop there and say, "Oh, felt like the Pope. That's great." So my question to you is this: as an entrepreneur, what are you willing to do, be, or give up
Wow.
to be successful in your business or in your life? Are you willing to step into the power that is within each and every one of you?
Ooh. Wow. So if you're watching, please answer that. What are you willing to do, be, or give up? Wow. That's a powerful one.
Or what have you given up?
Oh,
Yeah,
there you
or
go.
what have you
What
given
have
Because
you?
I think we're all sitting here going internally like, well, yep, that's
Yeah.
gone, that's gone, that's gone.
Absolutely.
There we go.
Thank you, Will.
You're welcome.
Really. James.
The biggest thing for me is kind of tapping into that uniqueness piece, is remain authentically you without compromise. It is understanding that there are people drawn to you for a specific reason, and there's somebody for everybody. Somebody, you may need a little bit more of a gentle approach sometimes. It's not my approach. And I know, because in classes and with clients that I've worked with, there are some that have had some hesitation for a little bit of time, and then they'll finally come to me and be like, you may be the person I need, but I'm not sure because you scare me, but in a good way. So it's realizing that there's that part of that branding
Absolutely.
as an entrepreneur, that's what people associate you with. So what style of coaching do you resonate with, and how does it reflect on you as how you show up as an individual in your personal and your professional life? There's not a separation, it's one and the same, but authentically without compromise.
Becca?
Thank you. So I totally want to piggyback on that. And you said it's the uniqueness. It's how you're marketing yourself out there. Are you separating yourself with a business page? Do you use your personal profile? What are you posting? I get more clients booked just from my personal page than I do my business page, because people do like to see that connectedness. My work, my life, my passions, they're all connected.
Yes.
It builds that credibility. There's no, this is me over here, let me put on a front over here. It's really clients feeling safe with you, knowing that you're doing the work, so you're a credible source. You've built that credibility. And like you said, make it you. Do you. I love to be outside as a coach. I gotta tap in with Mother Nature. People who want to be outdoors, they come to me. I work well with the youth, they come to me. People will be guided to you, divinely guided to you. So my piece would just be, what is your process? What is your protocol? Are you laughing? Make it fun. It doesn't have to be this serious work. Just because it's sacred doesn't mean you can't have fun with it. So tap into the divine source, ask for guidance, get grounded, say prayers before you go into your sessions, whatever your thing is. Channeling really why you're there, and then showing up fully and laugh. You know, really, I feel like laughter almost helps a human come out of their shell. Linda, I know you love to be playful and have fun, right? And it works. I've seen it work, just offering some silliness, some playfulness, and having fun with this deep work really helps someone to open up. So, yeah.
And that's the last piece that we want to end with is, for the most part, the questions I get is, how do I really make this a business? Like, how do I make money at this? So coaches, let's think about this. Let's think about the best financial business tip that we can give coaches. So we've said, find your own unique you. I love that you're saying that you get more business from your personal page than your professional page. And I gotta tell you, that has been my experience. I am me, and that my personal is my business. Like my personal Facebook page, Instagram page, it's who I am, and I am as authentic as I could possibly be. And that is how I believe I attract clients, is that I live what it is that I coach around. So let's think now just in terms of coaches. The one biggest business thing that I would offer to you is, Linda, what would that be?
Develop your reputation, and what I mean by that is you should be getting referrals from your clients. I don't
Oh.
advertise, and
Yeah.
all my clients come from referrals, and that to me is invaluable. So it's, what reputation are you building with your current clients that they're going to refer you to somebody else?
Okay. So people know you're open for business and taking
Absolutely.
clients. So that's an important piece.
Right.
Is be open for business and take referrals.
Right.
Ask for referrals.
Ask for referrals, and at the same time, you know, it's really making sure that that client walks away feeling like they've accomplished something. And if they have, they're going to share that with somebody else.
Absolutely.
I have to piggyback on that, because that's exactly what I was gonna say, is literally every session you do is a piece of who you are.
Mhm.
And so if you give the best that you have to give in a session, your referrals are going to follow. So if you don't feel like you're gonna give a good session, make sure you get yourself grounded, get into a good space, feel good about what you're coming to the table to bring for that particular client, because every single session that you do, it's almost like you have to earn it for every session that you do. You have to earn it. And when that happens, you literally will have referrals coming to you all the time. I don't do a whole lot of advertising at all on Facebook, and I'm busy. But another thing that I would say is get on a webpage of a, like, I don't know if there's a life coaching, like I'm a certified reflexologist, and I'm on the Certified Reflexology Board's website. I get a lot of referrals from that, so make sure that your name is in a number of different places, but that one big piece is make sure that every session you do is with your heart, because that's gonna sell you.
I will ask you, Sharon, though, but people know you're open, sorry, Sharon.
Oh,
I'm looking.
yes.
They know you're open for business. That to me is key. You've got to say, I am open for business, I'm currently taking clients. And that is something, I love it when I see our coaches say, I currently have 5 openings this week, or I'm currently open for more business. Say that. I'm currently open for more business if that's the case. Sharon, what would be a marketing piece that you would offer our coaches?
I would say get really clear on what is your message, what is your brand, and what is the problem that you're solving? What is the solution that you're offering to that problem? Because people aren't going to come to you because you say, I'm a life coach, I'm a hypnotherapist. We're everywhere. They can look in the phone book and find that. They come to you for you and your unique offering and your unique solution. So that is what they want. So when you're thinking about putting posts out there, when you're starting your branding and figuring out what you're messaging and what is the solution that you're offering? What are the specific results and solutions that they're going to get from working with you, and put that out into the world, and then make the offer. Let them know that you're available to them, because that's the piece that I see a lot of our students and graduates and entrepreneurs miss, is they put out this great messaging, great branding, but then never talk about what ways they can actually be worked with. So make sure that you put your offer out there. I'm taking clients, I'm open for business, I've got new courses, whatever it is. So messaging, solution-based, and then offering.
Good. All right, Coach Business.
Host business. So one of the first tools that I use with students when they come in is called Finding Your Voice. And it's a tool that I've used, and I use it no matter what your business is, whether it's life coaching, whether it's toe reading, whether it's hypnotherapy, whatever it is, business is business is business, and they all follow the same rules. And the most important piece, I believe, is that if you do not know what your passion is and you're not clear around that, then your message is not clear. And you have to understand that in today's world, we have so much technology that is available to us that our clients, it's not like the old days where we had to sell. They're out there, they're on Facebook, they're checking all kinds of stuff out. So they're searching. And the most important piece that we sell first is ourselves. The client they attach their ego label to us, and they want to know that we can, or we feel and have experienced some of the same things that they have. So the first thing that they do is they buy you. And then once they buy you and you gain their trust, then they will buy your product or your business.
And I just have to piggyback on that by saying, I always believe that we only have 2 types of clients. There are clients that feel they're just like us. You're saying ego attached, that they're just like us. And so the more authentic we are, it's like, oh, I'm just like her. Or there are people who want to be like us. And so it encourages us to live a very integrous life, a motivational life, an inspirational life. Oh, I want to be like her. I want to be like him. And I found that to be the case. When you take your clients, they're either like you or they want to be like you. And that's pretty much the 2 markets.
And they want to see, they want to know that you're not selling them something that you've read in a book or you've been taught. They want to know that you're using the same tools in your life that you're asking them to do.
Or in your coaching sessions.
Or in your coaching sessions.
Yes, absolutely. A big piece of business advice.
Own your worth and get out of your own way. That's one of the biggest pieces, is tapping onto what Sharon and Will have kind of said. Once you know who you're serving, once you know what your message is, there are people out there that will throw money at you if you are clear as to the solution that you provide with the message that you believe in, that you're attached to. And if you have the answer, they're going to pay what you are putting out there. Absolutely. And when we're first getting started, that's been still the biggest issue, is I'm only going to charge, a little bit just because I'm just getting started or I just graduated. Nobody knows that but you. So, get rid of that. And own it, it has to do with that confidence and taking full ownership of who you are.
Absolutely. Building a business, Becca, what would you offer coaches?
So I have 3 things.
Okay.
Number 3. So again, know your worth was my number 1. Know your worth, have a number, and you stick to it. You hold yourself to it. You know what you're capable of. You might not always know it. You know what you're capable of. Stick to that number, tell your clients, here's what I'm offering in my session. The first session can be that. After you meet them, you'll see what you can incorporate in the sessions to follow. That can up the sell, or you can put together some sort of package. You know, get 10 sessions for this month so we can really step into your power. The second, educate yourself on how to get in front of your demographic. Free marketing is essential for people who are kicking off their business. What I mean by free marketing is you're on Facebook right now. You're watching this. We're selling life coaching. Are you buying? Did it cost us money to do this right now? No. Educate yourself on what tools you have at hand. Instagram, YouTube. It takes a minute to record a video, upload it to YouTube. You have a channel. You can be making money by people viewing you. Educate yourself on what's out there. The youth of today is learning, you know, bounds beyond what a lot of adults know, just because technology is going so fast. So keeping up, come to Sweet Hollow, learn how to step into that business, social media, market yourself. And the third, use your tribe, your friends, your family, not just word of mouth through the clients that you serve. Yes, that's number one. But ask your friends, tag your friends, ask them to share, and just spread the word within your tribe here, right? I say every empowered coach has a team of empowered coaches behind them. So
I want to add one thing that I think we've been talking about kind of a roundabout way, is that people have a hard time asking for the money and feeling they're not worth it. And my first thing is, then get a coach and work through that. Let's work through it, because it's mistaken beliefs that we've gotten caught up in. We're dragging them around with us, and it's time to let that go. Casey did a session when you did the one with Susie about the money and what people were worth, and it took me back to, I was stuck when I was first starting my business. I was still stuck that I was only worth 50 cents an hour, which is what I got as a kid. I was stuck at my allowance, and I had that belief, and that was stopping me from building my business, and I almost had to stop because I wasn't making enough money, and I had to change that belief. So get a coach and do the work.
Absolutely, absolutely.
The thing.
And that is true. I always say, whatever you can say without stuttering is your price. And that I believe. Absolutely. And this is what I would say. I would ask everyone to write this down if they wonder. Coaches typically give 100%, and so they have their professional fee at $100. I gotta tell you, that's not mine. And then you either go lower or higher, whatever it is that you want. That is the key. Give 100% and charge $100. Listen to this. Typically a coach gives 100% and their professional fee is $100. But today, what I realize for you, I'm going to offer it to you at, and you can say whatever it is you want. This is what I've been recently saying, oh, I love it. Typically, coaches are charging $100. I gotta tell you, I charge $200. Because I give 200%. And do you know what? I have people saying that they're willing to pay me the $200. Now this is and so it's like, whatever you want to say, go high from 100 or go lower, if that's what you can say without stuttering, or if that's what the demographic market can bear. You always give 100%. That's what we're all saying.
Right.
Find your niche and give 100%, and have yourself from this open-hearted place. Live to give. That's my number one thing I would say to coaches. Live to give. That you're here, you wouldn't be drawn to be a life coach if you weren't wanting to be one that gives. So live to give. I love to give. I give 100%. And then go high, go low, go to a place that it is something that is sustainable and that you can live on. Woo! Woo! Let's close with one word. What would your word be, Becca?
fearless.
Fearless. Go fearless. Be fearless.
I'm sticking with grounding.
Be grounded. Okay. Fearlessly grounded.
Passion.
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 I'm going to stay with curiosity.
Curiosity.
Blessed.
Blessed.
The word lifted,
Lifted.
keeps coming to mind.
All right.
Lift off.
Lift off. Okay. And I'm gonna just go back to live to give. The more that you give out, the more that your living will be that of giving. Thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate all that you do as coaches, if you're currently a coach or you're interested in being a coach. And please know that we are very open to offering any kind of support that you need, either through the Success Center, or if you have any questions, we'll go back and review this particular tape, or know that anytime you want to offer a question on the Sweehaw Conscious Community, or just by emailing Sweehaw, we'll be happy to support you in that as well. Blessings, blessings. Bye.